1v1 on Crossing in the Woods. This game is going to be Mercenary90 against Sturmtiger Peruci. Mercenary90 playing as Ostherr in the north and Sturmtiger Peruci playing as Soviets in the south. Soviets are going with double conscript opening, double grenadier opening from Mercenary90, pretty standard stuff. Conscripts are making their way towards the fuel, and pioneers grabbing the strategic point. Grenadiers going to make their way towards the munitions, and conscripts are making their way out of the base towards the center, it looks like. So it looks like both sides are going to be pushing very hard for the left. Sandbag fighting position going up here from these conscripts. Grenadiers taking up a position behind some sandbags there. And conscripts about to make their way towards the center victory point. Very hard push for the left by both players. Both of them completely ignoring the entire right side of this map for now. They really want to try and grab control of that left side, but that does mean that the Soviet's going to have the advantage as it's on his side of the river. Third squad of conscripts hits the field, and an MG42 is about to make its way out as well. The conscripts look like they're being fielded to finally start backcapping on the right. Grenadiers will engage conscripts at range here, and they're all stuck in this dangerous river territory kind of zone. But the conscripts are repositioning away from them towards the green cover, giving them a free window of opportunity to cross the river. Bit of wasted damage potential there, and the combat engineers nearby just retreated, which means that those grenadiers or those conscripts are now going to be alone to fend off 3 squads by themselves. The second squad of conscripts that was taking the center VP is on its way, but I think the Soviet may have messed up this engagement a little bit here, not dealing any damage while they were crossing the river. Treated his combat engineers early, and his supporting conscript squad couldn't get to the engagement in time, and the Ostherr will successfully take the left side fuel. The Soviet player is now taking the munitions here, but I don't think he's connected. No, because of this hole caused by the river. It's not connected. And the combat engineers are going to grab the strategic point back there. Conscripts making their way to the left to fire on these pioneers. Looks like they're going to take up a position inside of this house. Grenadiers are going to grab the center victory point, and the right side victory point is going to get taken by conscripts. Combat engineers grabbing the strategic point over there. Conscripts get suppressed by an MG from across the river, and pioneers leave their position in the house to keep them suppressed despite their green cover position. Grenadiers move up into close range as well, and those conscripts will definitely get wiped if he doesn't retreat. There he goes. Played that one a little bit too close. He probably should have retreated as soon as they got suppressed to avoid any unnecessary model losses. That being said, by staying in the capture circle, he prevented the capture for a little bit more time, and he has taken control of the right side, so he will have a bit of a fuel advantage at this point. Mercenary90 just purchased Battle Phase 1 in production now, and conscripts are going to make their way back. No, they force a retreat from these grenadiers, and they're going to make their way up to the strategic point there in the north. The support weapon Campanaya has been constructed, so it's tier 2. I'm probably going to be seeing Maxim or field gun or something like that. No, mortar. Interesting choice. Rifle grenade misses completely. Very nice dodge by Sturmtiger Peruci there. Map is now split unusually vertically. Usually this map is split horizontally across the river, but it's split vertically now. as the Soviet has completely taken the right side unopposed. And he's going to be able to get the left back unopposed as well, judging by the positioning of the Oster forces. Pulling away from the fuel and defending their half of the river. There's just this munitions here. Conscripts are moving up and Molotovs have been researched. Forces those grenadiers out of cover. Conscripts engaging grenadiers here in the north. I don't have music on, do I? I just noticed that. Conscripts throwing a Molotov. Doesn't look like he's... Oh, he does notice and he gets clear of it without taking too much damage. Meanwhile, over here... A squad just got wiped? What squad just got wiped? I don't know what happened. Oh, a full squad of conscripts, or combat engineers, died. Maybe a flamethrower exploded. I guess that's what happened. Looks like a rifle grenade went off on a mine that they had just planted. I'm pretty sure that that's what happened. So that sucks. That means that he lost his mine, he lost his flamethrower, and he lost his combat engineer squad. Nice rifle grenade. Combat engineer, conscripts are engaging grenadiers. Those grenadiers are falling very low. They will be forced to retreat. Meanwhile, harassment over here on the right side by grenadiers trying to take control of the fuel, while more grenadiers move up to take territory in the back. And I don't know if this mortar has really done anything. Nope, 0 kills, 0 damage. Hasn't accomplished anything. He could utilize it for smoke just to clear his advance on a machine gun. He's currently repositioning though. Conscripts engaging grenadiers. They should not have gotten in that building. Molotov is already being thrown. We'll leave the building in time. It's really not that big of a deal for a Soviet player to throw a Molotov though. It costs like nothing. So of all the munitions expenditures you could bait, that one's not that big of a deal, but certainly doesn't hurt. Didn't really take any damage on his grenadiers there. Molotov could have been thrown a little bit quicker though. Looks like a machine gun got forced to retreat over here on the left side. There it is. And the left side fuel will fall to the Soviets once again. Meanwhile, right side fuel not looking like it's in a very strong position either. All infantry got forced away by these advancing conscripts. It looks like Mercenary90 is pulling all of his forces back to try and concentrate himself a little bit more on one side. Not having a whole lot of luck taking just one side. Panzer Grenadiers take a little bit of damage on their approach, but they do force the conscripts defending the left to retreat, and it looks like the fuel will remain in Oster's hands as he never moved a squad over there to actually capture that, although he did cut it off, if only briefly. Meanwhile, conscripts are successfully taking the fuel here on the right.
Forces are capturing our supplies. Standing by. We now have extra firepower. Objective secured. We will defend.
Mortar's not doing a whole lot. We do have commander selection from Stormtrooper Peruci. Guard motor coordination. No big surprises there.
Capturing supply sector. Run for cover!
And Pioneers are probably going to get forced away by these conscripts on the right side. I'm not sure he's watching. Flamethrower also in the retreat path. He's going to need to get those out of there soon or they'll be in a lot of trouble. Rifle Grenade over here wipes out 3 of 6 conscripts. Grenadiers there forced to retreat by DP, upgraded guards. Nice placement in green cover. And we do have harassment of the left side fuel. Fresh sandbag position has also been, well actually I guess it never got destroyed, so conscripts grabbing the fuel over there, and the Pioneers will get away without taking any loss. No, taking 1 loss on retreat. Surprisingly enough. And we do have a medic bunker upgrade here in the base, so he does have healing. And he has gone tier 2, so he has access to, well, I guess he's had Panzer Grenadiers out for a while. It's kind of an interesting decision, especially on this map where almost every engagement happens at long range. Soviet player now has 200 fuel on the bank. It's not teched up at all. Ooh, that rifle grenade could cost him that conscript squad. There it goes. Taken out by those grenadiers. The Molotov cocktail, on the other hand, takes out only 2 grenadiers. Meanwhile, on the left side, conscripts are in a dangerous position, holed up inside of this building, but support does arrive just in time, and the grenadiers will be forced to retreat. On the right side, grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers are moving up to take control of the right side fuel. Lots of back and forth between the fuel points and victory points, which are dead even, 450 to 450 still. Very little progress by both players on those. Still focusing, of course, in the early game on their economy. We do have the, oh no, Grenadiers are very low. They could go down here.
We need to re-establish our supply lines.
Barely get away.
Encroaching on our territory.
You never know when those conscripts are going to get a lucky snipe on retreat, though. It has happened. Pioneers moving up to grab the victory point there. Grenadiers taking the fuel. And nice cutoff move by these conscripts here. Although, yeah, nice cutoff. It means that he's going to be denied the right side fuel just at about the same time he finishes capturing it. Good play. Keeping that fuel out of Auster hands. Meanwhile, continuing to secure the left side.
HQ has been upgraded. Medium armor and rocket artillery is now available.
Panzer Grenadiers in close range with Grenadier support will force the conscripts to retreat. Mortar firing in the area. We do have another engagement over here on the right side. It looks like Oster could win this one. No Molotov thrown yet. And they're going to reposition to this green cover away from those Pioneers, allowing the Pioneers to start capturing the munitions point. Cutoff is being retaken by the Panzer Grenadiers here in the center. Did I hear a rifle grenade? I thought I heard a rifle grenade. Maybe not. Conscripts going very wide for a flank on that MG42. Nice flank. Rifle grenade does go off on those guards, taking 4 of 6 models out. Meanwhile, Grenadiers here are grabbing the center victory point, and the Oster have won this engagement. Looks like another rifle grenade went off, and the conscript squad gets away pretty much unharmed though. Just 1 loss sustained. The flanking conscripts up here do get a Molotov out on the machine gun, forcing it to retreat, but since the guards have already retreated, there's not much more they can do here, and are forced away. Conscripts engaging from within green cover. No munitions for a rifle grenade. Probably can't win this. Oh, there was another rifle grenade coming in from over there, but it gets very nicely dodged. Very nice dodge by Stormtrooper Peruci. And he will continue to engage at this medium range. He will easily force those Grenadiers out of cover. Those Grenadiers may prove to be a little bit more difficult to deal with. But it looks like Soviet player may be pulling ahead here, forcing a retreat from that squad. squad, and this one possibly soon to follow, especially with supporting infantry making its way from the base. A lot of supporting infantry. That being said, territory not looking too good for the Soviet at this point. Oster finally retaking control of the left side fuel, has a very strong munitions position, having managed to capture the one on the Soviet side of the river, and currently taking the one here as well, although the Soviet is making a pretty split push at this point. Looks like the mortar is going to take the munitions, while these forces spread out to take various points on the map, and we have a Katyusha hitting the field as well, so this is going to be a pretty serious concern for that machine gun and any grenadier squads that might get caught next to it, not to mention the pack. That's a pretty quick tier 4 from Sturmtiger Peruci, and you don't always see any tech structures from players that have gone guard motor coordination. Sometimes they just purely make T-3485s from the rest of the game. Nice to see that Katyusha hitting the field. I certainly agree with that decision on this map in particular. Generally not that hard to keep it alive, and it can inflict some heavy damage on team weapons that are defending river crossings. Conscripts engaging grenadiers here on the left are a little bit wounded, and they are in yellow cover, which is a dangerous place to be against grenadiers, but they're not firing a rifle grenade. Looks like their LMG was sufficient anyway to win that engagement, even on open ground. Conscripts on the right side going to go take the fuel. And the Katyusha is firing its first barrage in this area. Oh, nice opening rocket on that Panzer Grenadier squad. And retreating through the barrage. Oh, and a stray rocket finishes them off. Very nice opening Katyusha barrage, netting it a squad wipe. It's going to need to keep performing exactly like that though to maintain its usefulness. And that's going to start to get the mental clock ticking, I think, for the Oster player on destroying that thing. He really needs to take it out before it can get any more squad wipes like that. And he is intending to do just that, purchasing a Panzer force so that he can hopefully hunt that thing down before the Soviet forces get too strong and too dangerous for it to penetrate behind enemy lines. There are currently no mines between that Panzer IV and the Katyusha, so he could just go in super hard and try and take it out. Of course, he doesn't know that for sure until he purchases a minesweeper, which hopefully he will do in the very near future. Rifle grenade very nicely dodged by guard rifles there on the left side. Continuing to engage grenadiers. Conscripts grabbing some territory as well. Guards are forced to retreat. Conscripts in this building. Probably not engaging very well here with only three windows isn't that bad. But it looks like they're falling behind and this engagement will be forced to retreat soon. They have successfully taken on the left side. The Panzer IV has hit the field and forces those conscripts away, and that Katyusha is going to have to be very careful in its maneuvers. Already it's being repositioned far right to make sure that that Panzer IV is as far away from it as possible. Looks like he may be thinking about trying to bombard these two squads with the Katyusha. Or maybe not.
Enemy forces capturing supply sector. Workers of the Soviet Union.
Is firing on the center machine gun at pretty long range. I'm not sure it's going to connect. Two rockets land quite nicely. The machine gun is not reacting at all. There it goes. Could get away. Barely. Just barely.
Good work, comrades. This now belongs to us.
And the Panzer IV is making its way across the right side. Conscripts getting engaged by Grenadiers here. I think the Grenadiers might win this unless they get a lucky Molotov or Ura into cover or something. It's not going to go very well for them. The grenade here doesn't do much damage, and the Grenadiers will be forced to retreat, giving guards control of the center victory point, and these conscripts are probably going to get forced away from this fuel point as they're attempting to capture it, but they do manage to decapture it. And Panzer IV still only has 2 kills, so he has not been using that very aggressively. He must be very afraid of mines. Now there's a field gun available to counter him. If he had just driven straight towards the Katyusha, as soon as it hit the field, he would have easily been able to take it out. If he had done so with Minesweeper support just to be safe, that would have been the best possible thing, but unfortunately that didn't happen, and now the Soviet has fielded a counter. And we may also have AT grenades. No, still no AT grenades, so he still could go in pretty hard. He does have guards available for a button, though. Something to be aware of. He's really going to want to take that thing out, though, before it inflicts too many heavy losses. It's already able to barrage yet again. Firing now on the Panzer IV? It's firing on the Panzer IV. Seems like a weird decision. Doesn't really do anything. T-34-85s have been fielded though, and that Panzer IV isn't going to be able to do a whole lot against them. He just used marked vehicle on it. Interesting. He must be intending on just chasing it all the way into the base. He does have 45 seconds before marked vehicle ends. Kind of getting stuck a little bit on his own field gun. Meanwhile, here on the right, flamethrower is engaging these pioneers. Oh, he just gave that flamethrower to his opponent. Oh no. T-34 is forced full retreat. Only 30 seconds remain on his marked vehicle. If he wants to charge that Panzer IV with marked vehicle active, he pretty much has to do it right now, but it looks like he does not intend to do that and is going to try and wipe this stolen flamethrower on retreat. He does have a mortar moving up to recapture the territory. Meanwhile, the left side victory point and munitions is getting harassed by this Grenadier squad. There's also a PTRS available to be recovered if you wanted to. T-34-85s do not make any huge aggressive plays. They are just going to try to fight for territory for now, and they're making their way back towards the left side. Mortar did not move to capture the fuel point. It's going to wait for some other kind of squad to go handle that. Meanwhile, harassment on the left continues. Grenadiers going to grab the fuel point. Conscripts taking the victory point, and the T-34s are making their way over to force all of that stuff away. There is a second pack on the field now, in addition to the Panzer IV.
Our T-34s have been outfitted with 85mm guns. We will follow their tracks to
But I don't think we have any teller mines down, and mines are just super important to keep these tanks in check. But Sturmtiger Peruci is using them very conservatively, so not a very high likelihood of
marking and targeting of vehicles is now available.
of him diving and hitting a teller mine.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Conscripts making their way to take the right side fuel now. High explosive barrage misses its target there. Meanwhile, Katyusha firing on this pack and machine gun, dealing heavy damage, taking out one crew member and bringing the health very low. Conscripts on the right side, just kind of standing there. T-34 is looking for various opportunities. Soviet player continues to be very passive. Meanwhile, the Oster player is mobilizing a force to go take the left.
Guard squad ready.
Enemy forces are capturing our supplies. The enemy has 300 points remaining. Supply sector under attack.
T-34 forces a retreat there on the right. This T-34 is engaging some grenadiers on the left. Ooh, nice shot there. The packs are making their way forward, trying to get a shot off. This one has gone way left though, for whatever reason. But with a damaged engine, the Panzer IV should be able to chase and try and get a few shots on the rear armor. Decides not to though, pulling back, playing it safe. Meanwhile on the right side, flamethrower falling dangerously low. He's not paying attention. And there it goes. Conscripts trying to take the left side fuel. The Katyusha has a barrage ready and it will be Vet 1 soon, giving it concentrated barrage, which is extremely dangerous of course against team weapons. 60 munitions to use that, and he has quite a large amount of munitions saved up for marked vehicle as well. As far as his next set of T-34s, it'll be here in about 6 minutes, 7 minutes. High explosive barrage going out on that HMG, giving that Panzer IV an opportunity to move up and fire. High explosive barrage gets cancelled though. Panzer IV takes one shot to his frontal armor on the retreat, and the Katyusha is firing on the base. Oh! And he manages a squad wipe there on a wounded grenadier squad sitting in the base. Very nice aggressive Katyusha barrage. And that is Vet 1 for the Katyusha, so it will be able to use the concentrated barrage soon. T-34 takes a nasty hit there from that pack. T-34 will be forced back. The guards here are throwing a grenade. That could be good. Oh, that is dangerously close to going down. Guards trying to wipe them on retreat, but a Tiger has been fielded and the guards take a huge hit. They need to retreat now. Picks up the PTRS and gets out of there. Conscripts are soon to follow. Meanwhile on the right side, thank you for following. Conscripts are engaging Grenadiers with T-34 support, and they will get forced away. The Tiger sitting here in the middle, and a field gun, freshly healed and reinforced, is making its way back to the front as well. These two team weapons moving to support the Tiger. The left side also quite heavily defended. The Katyusha is moving over to the right side. Hi Jam and Rock, thanks for following.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
I played against you like yesterday, right? I think so. Pioneers grabbing the left side fuel. Conscripts taking the victory point here, and T-34. Wow, that field gun is now Vet 2, actually. Vet 2 field gun moving up with the T-34. Conscripts take a huge hit. Oh, and there they go. Wiped by the Tiger. Big force of Axis tanks moving over here, but the Vet 2 field gun is really quite dangerous. That Tiger has to pull back for repairs. Meanwhile, the harassment of the right side getting pretty out of hand. Oster just can't seem to get anywhere with this, and it's almost kind of unusual to see a Soviet player use his T-34s so separately. He never charges with them together. He's using them on completely opposite sides of the map purely for map control and slowly boxing his opponent in, and it's working pretty well, but he needs to get the victory points under his control. He doesn't hold the center victory point, doesn't hold the left side fuel, and he's having a lot of trouble getting those victory points down. Going to be some counter harassment here on the right side by the Panzer IV, while the Tiger awaits repairs here on the left.
AT gun is ready for combat. Enemy HMG. We are as ready as we can be. When do you need us? T-34 here. The enemy is taking what we have secured.
And Mortar's gonna have to retreat soon, although Katyusha just fired its standard. No, concentrated barrage? Yep, concentrated barrage on the MG42. Wiping the weapon out just goes to show how powerful that ability is. There's really no dodging that with a team weapon. As soon as you hear the noise, you start packing up and then boom, you're dead. It does have a pretty high munitions cost associated with it though.
Stop building. Start stocking. Engineer squad. Engineer down.
Tiger and Pack, various infantry continuing to contend for the left side. Oster victory point control finally really kicking in. Looks like the Soviet player has now fallen behind just ever so slightly. Soviet's going to need to start paying attention to victory points more here in the late game. He does have the fuel for a second set of T-34s. In fact, he has for a full minute and a half, but he's been spending so much manpower that he's not going to be able to field them. I think he also doesn't have the pop cap for them either, so that just goes to show how his army has a little bit too much low-tech stuff. He can't even afford to bring in more tanks. And a swarm of 4 T-34s would probably be more than enough to wipe out the Tiger, wipe out the Panzer IV. There are still not really any teller mines anywhere. That being said, the Axis player is being a little passive with his tanks as well. He doesn't want to go in too hard and lose his Tiger, but at the same time, he can't let this Katyusha keep bombarding him to death. Up to 16 kills now. Constantly decrewing team weapons, getting squad wipes every now and then. Barrage going in right here. This one could be bad, especially if a rocket hits that Pioneer squad. Nothing too bad yet. It's pretty lucky, I think, that spread of rockets was so off. I didn't hit anything. Got a lucky break. Grenadiers moving to take the victory point here on the right. T-34 is still defending, though. This T-34 has been just hugely powerful counter-harassment on the right side, keeping it under Soviet control for pretty much the entire game ever since it hit the field. Soon it'll have secure mode and even be able to take the territory back on its own. Not yet though. Still a little ways to go before it hits Vet 1. This one has 10 kills, it's almost Vet 1 as well. And combat engineers are making their way forward. And a mortar half-track has been fielded. Interesting choice. That will mean Spearhead has been chosen. And Spearhead is actually quite powerful on this map. Oh, there's a teller mine right here. I hadn't thought he'd planted any. I stand corrected. He placed it right on the road though, and the minesweeper spotted it at some point, so now it's permanently visible. Because that's a bug in this game. It still hasn't been fixed.
On the field.
Mortar is retreating. High explosive barrage going off on the machine gun there. Not quite connecting. Looks like it may be able to get out safely. Yep, there it goes. And the T-34 on the left is going to take out this bunker. Katyusha barrage coming in on the Pack. Ooh, that rocket landed nicely on the mortar half-track. It could go down if it doesn't get out of the strike zone soon. Oh no! Oh, there it goes! mortar half-track taken out by a Katyusha barrage. And there's a second Katyusha on the field, also barraging. Look at that. And the pack gun will get cleared. The bunker's been destroyed. Devastating barrage right there. But the Tiger is getting revenge, and it trades quite well, moving up and taking out that T-34-85 in the midst of the engagement. T-34 here on the right side also trying to inflict a little bit of damage while it has the opportunity, but it misses its shot and gets engine damaged, and the Panzer IV is moving up to try and battle it a little bit here. But it's probably going to lose this engagement without pack support, which is on its way. Meanwhile, Pioneer Squad just got wiped while repairing the Tiger. Pioneer Squad just got wiped by conscripts capturing the center victory point, and then they make a quick retreat. All the engagements happening at various locations on their map are proving difficult for players to keep up with here. And let's see, at 79 of 100, he would need to lose quite a few forces to field another set of T-34s, but he doesn't have the manpower for that anyway, now that he's purchased a second Katyusha. Those are 12 PopCap. High explosive barrage going off towards the center again, but he just can't land a hit with that ability. Constantly misses. Machine gun being forced to reposition. Pretty big scatter at that range, I guess. That shot would have done some damage.
Enemy forces are neutralizing a sector.
Panzer Faust going off again, forcing his opponent to spend munitions constantly. He's at 75 now. He's probably been at less than 100 for the entire game. He really has to constantly spend munitions on abilities and mines and various things just to keep himself in the game. Pack moving up to fire on this T-34. It does have a damaged engine, and it's in kind of an awkward location. It is, fortunately, missing all of its shots, though. And a Katyusha barrage will force it to reposition. It looks like it will be able to reposition safely. Suffering only one loss. Meanwhile, a mortar is firing on the machine gun here in the center, and it looks like Oster victory point control is starting to get a little bit out of the Soviet player's hands. He's now 100 points behind, and he really needs to make something happen here. But being pop-capped, not able to bring in more tanks, is kind of hurting his ability to push, and the Oster player is kind of breaking free of his little box and starting to creep forward and take territory beyond just victory points, grabbing the right side fuel. Right side victory point's going to get harassed by these conscripts, though, at the very least. Meanwhile, pack and machine gun continue to defend here on the left side. Just some various indirect fire weapons. Ooh, nice mortar, though. Katyushas are going to be able to fire again soon. Two Katyusha barrages going off, making this a very dangerous zone. No rockets have really connected yet, though. Pack takes a little bit of light damage. Looks like overall that Katyusha barrage didn't do much. Tiger remains at pretty high health. Looks like he wants to try and make a push here. Guards on the left side accomplish nothing in front of that Panzer IV. Grenadiers are available as well to start capturing some territory. But Soviet counter-harassment on the right is going well. Conscripts and T-34 moving up and taking all the territory back, and it looks like there's going to be quite a bit of contention here in the center. The Katyushas pretty much wasted their barrage, though. Will not be able to deny the victory point to his opponent. But the conscripts are circling around to take the cutoff, or maybe just go straight for the victory point. What was that? Oh no! Soviet mine just got hit by this Panzer IV. Nice mine placement, and it is immobilized. Well, destroyed engine. Destroyed engine. Pioneers are moving up to try and clear out that field gun. It pops smoke to try and clear its, what was that? Oh! The Soviet mortar just wiped a grenadier squad. Wow. And the field guns are forced to reposition away from those pioneers, but this Panzer IV is still in danger. The Katyushas are going to be able to barrage again very soon. The T-34-85 could also be deployed to deal with this, but he needs to follow up on that mine soon. Doesn't have much time before repairs complete. Pioneers have been forced to retreat. Screening infantry are on their way to try and give vision, I think. I don't know where he's going. I feel like he's not really reacting to the fact that there's a destroyed engine Panzer IV here. Looks like it's gonna get repaired. The Katyushas aren't even moving up to fire. Oh, that one's firing now. Oh, the field gun nails it just in time, and the guards bring the pioneers down to just one man. Katyusha's barraging way in the back. He does manage to get a few shots off on that mortar half-track. That Panzer IV continues to be in a lot of danger. High explosive barrage. My headphones died. Okay. High explosive barrage is actually doing a surprising amount of damage to that Panzer IV. And regular field gun resumes firing. It's falling dangerously low. Meanwhile, guards have taken control of the center victory point, and a T-34-85 heavily damaged will force a grenadier squad to retreat. Fortunately, marked vehicle forces that Tiger to back away before the T-34 can be taken down in conjunction with field gun fire, Vet 3 field gun fire, and main gun is destroyed over here. Field gun trying to finish it off. Anything could take it out at this point. I don't think there's any way for him to save it. The Katyushas are going to be able to fire again soon as well. AT gun moving up to take the right side victory point. Conscripts moving up for an AT grenade, and there it goes. Panzer IV has been destroyed. Mortar is... oh, thanks, Love Nest.
They see us. Enemy forces are capturing our supplies.
High explosive barrage going off on the machine gun over here on the left side. And that will be forced to retreat. Grenade goes off on the Vet 2 field gun, but the squad members are spread out enough that they don't get wiped. Brought down to 3 men. Conscripts and Minesweeper moving up to force the Grenadiers away. T-34 self-repairing here on the right side, but it is going... I think it may need combat engineers to actually fix the engine. I'm not sure about that though. Machine gun moving up. Katyusha firing though. Ooh. Taking out 2 of those machine gun crew members and forcing the retreat. Meanwhile, the conscripts are winning against those grenadiers, and they'll be forced to retreat as well. Fortunately, they make it through the Katyusha barrage unharmed, and the Minesweeper and conscripts here are moving up to retake control of the left side victory point. The Tiger is receiving repairs in the base, but a Katyusha barrage here could be bad. Oh, wiping 1 machine gun. No other losses inflicted, fortunately, and the repairing pioneers took no losses, so they will be able to resume their work on the Tiger, which has 20 kills in his Vet 2, but the repairs really need to speed up a little bit. He needs to get that Tiger back on the field and back to work. Meanwhile, we have mines going down. Conscripts will finish taking the left side victory point. Rifle grenade nicely dodged. Guards will continue to engage these grenadiers. with T-34 85 support.
This territory is ours.
And the center victory point will get taken.
AT gun engaging us. Get behind something.
Combat engineers hiding out behind the building. Conscripts grabbing the left side strategic point. Guards taking the center VP. Soviet map control is very strong right now. The Tiger's repairs are almost complete, and that T-34 may have gotten a little overly aggressive here. But it is pulling back, and the Tiger is not giving chase. Meanwhile, this mortar half-track isn't really accomplishing too much. Two Katyushas are firing on the Tigers getting repaired, but it moves safely out of the barrage. Those base structures are dangerously low, though. Won't be able to make any further grenadiers if he allows that to get destroyed.
Man down! Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
Center victory point is falling. Left side victory point also falling.
The enemy is we are losing supplies to the enemy.
Oster still has 200 points remaining. Soviet down to only 80. He really needs to keep these victory points under his control. Tiger is about to be fully repaired here. And we actually have Battle Phase 3 being researched. Very interesting choice. Stormtrooper Peruci has 1,000 manpower and he had like 600 fuel. He just finally fielded a second set of T-34s 45 minutes into the game. It's gonna be hard to knock him out completely with all of the resources he's accumulated, but what is that Katyusha doing? What is it doing? Oh no! What was that? That was terrible. The Vet 2 Tiger is moving up, and there's a Vet 2 pack here as well. Well, that was a weird move. The other Katyusha is firing on the pack now. Doesn't really seem to be able to hit anything though. Guards are trying to contest the victory point, and combat engineers over here on the left are grabbing that victory point. A pack is available to support against tank pushes here. T-34 continues its counter harassment of the right side up to Vet 2 now. Could activate secure mode to further grab territory, but it looks like he's gonna go hard on this Tiger here, catching it from behind. Gets a nice shot off. The two T-34s from the south are also moving up to fire. He does have the munitions for marked vehicle, and he he activates it on the Tiger. Tiger pops smoke to try to get to safety, but he is getting swarmed. There's a Vet 3 field gun available to support as well. Tanks continue to go in. There is a pack set up here on the retreat path to fire. The Vet 3 T-34 will be forced to back away. In fact, he's going to completely pull back. Rather than try to seal the deal against that Tiger, which I think he easily could, he's going to pull away and focus entirely on the victory points, trying to get these Pioneers off the capture circle and get that back under his control. The conscripts here on the left side have taken the victory point, and the Pioneers have taken the center victory point. Anti-tank gun fires.
We have more conscripts at our disposal. Guard squad ready.
Not really doing anything. Soviets do have victory point control again. Oster has some time, but really needs to try to do something about the fact that his opponent has massive resources stored and can field endless T-34s. Eventually he will probably get worn down if he can't get the victory points back under his control and make a play that's going to hurt his opponent's economy here, his own economy, is constantly getting bled by these Katyusha barrages that have been happening all game. He kind of got a lucky break in the sense that his opponent drove a Katyusha straight into a pack earlier. I don't know if his opponent will make that mistake twice though, and he's struggling for territory. Field gun will take the territory. The Vet 3 T-34 is moving across the right side to grab for counter harassment, getting in position for a flank on that Tiger potentially as well. The mortar half track has 9 kills, so I guess it's not doing nothing. Tiger forces away squad there. Oh, what happened to this field gun? Maybe the mortar half track cleared that. I don't know. T-34-85 engaging the Tiger here, gets a nice shot off on the frontal armor. Vet 3 T-34 moves behind the Tiger for a flank, but there is a Vet 3 pack here available to deter. Meanwhile, this field gun is actually under Pioneer fire, but with this T-34 supporting, they'll probably get forced away. Tiger is still pretty healthy. Grenadiers are going to take the center point. This T-34 is falling quite low and can't do anything too risky, and this pack will screen against the flanking T-34. Those Pioneers will get forced to retreat, however. Meanwhile, the left side remains in Oster's hands. Another pack is moving up to fire on that T-34, which is falling dangerously low. Grenadiers wanted to get off of Panzerfaust, but they could not quite get in range, but the right side will remain firmly in Soviet hands. Oster has finally taken at least 2 victory points though, but the left one is falling and a Katyusha is barraging the base. This could be bad. One stray rocket and it could be devastating damage. Oh, nothing yet though. And the Katyusha gets destroyed by something. What happened? I don't even know how it died. Did the pack get it? I don't see it anywhere. I don't know what happened, but the Katyusha went down. Meanwhile, the Tiger is being engaged and is falling dangerously low as well. There is a Vet 3 field gun firing on it, and it needs to move clear of the arc of fire. That shot bounced, fortunately. If it had not, it would have been extremely, extremely close to death. Conscripts here are getting engaged. Meanwhile, mortar half-track is firing blind, I guess, on the point. There's nothing there. Oh, actually, I guess it's firing like diagonally. I guess that's possible. Yeah, it's like firing diagonally. I didn't realize it could do that. That's kind of cool. Huh. I thought I had to like face that way. I guess I learned something today. T-34 is all performing self-repair. Tiger Peruci kind of falling a little bit low in victory points. He really needs to just like... You really should, in my opinion, you should just drive his T-34s straight at the enemy Tiger until it's dead, and if he loses them, make more, because he has 500 fuel in the bank. But he's just going to keep on playing the victory point game. And he is currently contesting the center and left while losing the right. He's waiting for the repairs on his tanks to complete, and then I guess he's going to start counter-harassing once again. Ooh, that was a nasty shot. That Vet 3 T-34, oh no! May consider activating secure mode to grab that, or not. There's conscripts already on the way. Meanwhile, on the left side, mortar half-track continues to fire on various stuff. And that, heavy mortar has been fielded. That's pretty late game heavy mortar, utilizing that to lay fire on the enemy team weapons, but counter incendiary mortar will decrew him. Panzer Grenadiers making their way up to take the center will have to contend with guards, but they are forced to retreat. Tiger is now Vet 3 and is going to be dealing with the Vet 3 T-34 over here as well. 2 squads of infantry now trying to take the center desperately. Only 100 points now remain for the Ostherr, so they're going to start getting pretty desperate to take this territory back. Conscripts are trying to grab the right side as well. And a Katyusha is barraging this pack, potentially decrewing it. No, not quite. Pack will fire on the T-34. The Pioneers get wiped. So many squad wipes on the flanks of this map by these counter-harassing T-34s. A T-grenade goes off on the frontal armor of the Tiger, but it doesn't do much. This T-34 moving around to flank the Tiger is going to force it to reposition a little bit as well. Only the clock is stopped, but the conscripts are going to take control of the center victory point. Right side victory point about to get assaulted by this Tiger here. Could be problematic, but they just don't quite see each other. He needs to go in on that T-34. It's completely unsupported. There it goes. Self-repair will stop. Tiger could blitz in and try and finish it off, but he does not do that. Meanwhile, grenade goes off here on the left side, forcing... That was a terrible grenade. Forcing the Minesweeper to retreat. Panzer Grenadiers should be able to move up and take the victory points, but they're ticking so quickly now. The Ostherr player is triple capped, rapidly running out of time. Soon he will surpass the Soviet player in victory points. T-34 continuing to counter-harass though, may be able to take out those Panzer Grenadiers. They do decapture the point before retreating. Meanwhile, on the right side, Pioneers are taking the victory point, and over here, Grenadiers are attempting to engage. They could get a Faust off on that. Oh, it goes down to maximum range to that pack. Finally, a T-34 is destroyed. And again, Stormtrooper Peruci kind of hurting for manpower and definitely not for fuel. If he were to save up a little bit, he could consider grabbing another set of T-34s. He is activating secure mode in desperation, trying to get victory points back under control here on the left. On the right side, the Tiger is inflicting heavy losses on various counter-harassing infantry. No other Tigers being fielded either by Mercenary90. Somewhat surprising. Katyusha barrage going off here, takes out that pack, destroying the gun completely. Grenadiers desperately trying to take this victory point, will be forced to walk under T-34 fire into the capture circle. They do get a Panzer Faust off to damage the engine, and the Tiger has been repositioned to the left side to try to deal with this. T-34 goes down because of its damaged engine. This Soviet mortar will also be forced to retreat, and it's Vet 3, apparently. Wow. The heavy mortar never really made it anywhere, but the standard mortar is up to Vet 3. I wonder how many kills it has. This T-34 is trying to take control of the center and could wipe this squad, but it switches targets to the Tiger. It's taking heavy damage, and it will go down. All T-34s have now been destroyed by the Ostherr, but that Tiger is taking huge damage from those field guns, and it will have to back off for repairs. It's Vet 3 now with 41 kills. Stormtrooper Peruci does have the resources for a second set of T-34s in about 40 seconds.
One of our AT guns has been neutralized.
Both field guns have been cleared. A fresh Katyusha has been fielded. This one has only 5 kills. Grenade forces a retreat from the Panzer Grenadiers on the left, and the clock is stopped again. Both players at about 50 points remaining. Conscripts harassing the right side. More conscripts going for the center. Katusha moving up to fire on any opportunity targets it finds. This mortar half-track is actually up to 26 kills now. Katusha firing on the base. First spread of rockets is off target. Second spread similarly off target. Looks like they may end up being fine. Firing on max range like that, you never know what's gonna happen. Wait, what happened? Katusha just went down! That Katusha just died to this pack! Those aggressive Katusha barrages just are not paying off for him this game. And he loses it! But he does field a fresh set of T-34s. He really needs to make something happen with these T-34s. He needs to maintain his map control. If that Tiger gets repaired and pushes out and takes them down, he could lose this. But if he just holds on for a little longer, maybe not. Austere map control is really awful. But neither player needs fuel. Fuel is of zero importance to either of these players. They both have massive amounts in the bank. Game has now run for almost an hour. The T-34 will make its way towards the center victory point. Only 25 points remaining. Austere making a play for the center VP. The left side being taken by these combat engineers. Field gun dangerously close to being cleared. The clock will be slowed again, but he's running out of time. He's still double capped, and those Grenadiers are struggling just to take control of the center victory point. T-34 going in on a flank on the mortar half-track, but the Vet 3 Tiger is available to stop. Meanwhile, on the left side, Panzer Grenadiers are trying to stop the clock, and they will succeed. They wipe the point. Meanwhile, the center point gets captured, and the clock stops at 7 points. T-34 on the right side gets away with about a third remaining. The Panzer Grenadiers on the left are forced to retreat, and there is a squad of guards moving up to capture this. The Austere player must respond to this capture attempt on the left side, or he will lose the game. Tiger moves up to take out the screening T-34. And it will be forced to reposition, but it does huge damage to the Pio squad. He needed to capture this point. If it gets too close to those guards, it'll just die. And there it goes. But he's making a big push for the right side simultaneously. I don't know if he has time. Only 3 points remaining. But the clock does get stopped once again. The T-34-85 moving up to try and counter harass will get pushed away by this Tiger. Tiger gets a nice shot off and is well in range to finish it. The T-34 goes down, but the conscripts here are taking control of the center. Oh no. Right side victory point gets captured, center point gets whited. The Tiger must respond. If this point gets captured, it will end the game. The Tiger must move now. MG42 is on the way to try and prevent it. Mortar also falling from the mortar half-track. Tiger takes a shot. It's not quite on target, but the machine gun does make it into the capture circle, and the incendiary mortar lands, but doesn't quite connect. Regardless, those conscripts will be forced away. Meanwhile, on the left side, some pioneers are being sent into the meat grinder. I think that conscript squad got wiped, though. Austere player desperately clawing at victory points. AT gun, high explosive barrage may take out that machine gun, but oh no, we just retreated it! And those pioneers will have to replace it in the capture circle. Meanwhile, these grenadiers are engaging some combat engineers here. I guess they'll win that. Pioneers continue capturing the point. Nothing harassing the left side yet. Guards finally forced away by vetted infantry, making a push for the left side victory point. Center victory point being taken by these pioneers. And that Tiger is at about half health, but it is pulling back for now. T-34 moving to counter harass these grenadiers. And they will be able to retreat safely, and the T-34 is now moving to take the victory point, but the left side has fallen. So the Soviet player will need to take a third victory point, or a second victory point. to win the game. And the clock is ticking. The Soviet player now has only 30 points remaining, and he's about to be triple capped, which will give him very little time once he manages to stop the clock, if he manages to stop the clock. He does have some infantry making its way out of his base. He has only 20 points roughly remaining. By the time he gets this captured, he's not going to have much time left. He pretty much has to succeed on this next push. This coming battle is going to be the one that decides the game. It's going to be all or nothing here. 13 points remaining for the Soviet player. He must take another victory point. Guards attempting for the left side will throw a grenade at the Grenadiers. Nice dodge. Panzer Grenadiers closing in though. Doesn't look like he's going to have much success over there. T-34 is circling around behind the center victory point. Combat engineers are moving up to try and take. We've got a mortar to lay some indirect fire down. Mortar half-track doing the same. T-34 flanks around behind the Tiger. Marked vehicle going down on the Tiger as well. 6 points remaining for the Soviet. He has had no success on the left side. Panzer Grenadiers will wipe his squad here. Field gun, however, is moving into the capture circle here. 3 points remaining. I don't know if he has time, but the point is going to start getting captured. Meanwhile, the battle here continues. 2 points remaining. Oh no! The Pack and Tiger finish it off. 1 point remaining. Oh, and he's not able to capture the center point in time. Just a sliver left, but he couldn't do it. The Ostheer was able to turn the game around somehow. Well played. Good game. Axis wins.